Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam, Rasulullah. So they came to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam and they accused him of changing the Quran as he wishes. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the ayat that talks about an-naskh, or what we call abrogation. Abrogating an ayah versus an ayah. How many categories of abrogation there is and why, and what's the purpose of this abrogation? If Allah Azza wa Jal wills to put that ayah initially or eventually to change it or to remove it totally, why would He put it initially there in the Quran? Right? So inshallah ta'ala, as today is the tafsir, we are still with Surah Al-Baqarah, and today we're going to be, as we finish talking about the story of the sihr, and the story of how the sihr was first being initiated, in Babel, and the story of these two, as people claim they were angels who were teaching people sihr, or in fact how to protect themselves from sihr. We're going to move on to talk about a new chapter, still about, Surah Al-Baqarah, inshallah ta'ala. Right after the Sunnah, inshallah ta'ala. Please, if you have time to join us. And just a quick note here. This is some adab of the masjid. An adab of not only just coming to the masjid, the adab of dressing up when you're coming to the masjid. The dress code of coming to the masjid. Yani, if you were to come to the masjid, you're standing before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَهَذَا بَيْتُ اللَّهِ. When you were going to meet someone, definitely you're going to go and and put your best attire. يا بني آدم خذوا زينتكم عند كل مسجد, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. عند كل مسجid. When Allah says take your adornments when you go to the masajid, not only when you go for Eid. When you go to the masjid, put your your attire, your adornment. So be careful, brothers, especially those who come in with t-shirts, for instance, or jeans and whatnot. Sometimes you may not notice that when you're making maybe sujood, you're exposing your back, or even below your back. هذا ما يجوز. هذا لا يجوز وما يجوز. So once we have to be careful. Not only kids, unfortunately we see youth and sometimes even middle-aged people doing so. So just a notice that, something I want to bring about and share it with you. Be careful when you come into the masjid. Try to have your best attire and try to watch what, when you come to the masjid, making sure that you don't expose your awrah. Jazakumullah khair. I'll wait for you after sunnah, inshallah ta'ala. مرحبا بكم في مجلس يذكر فيه اسم الله. مرحبا بكم في مجالس الذكر. So when you're done, inshallah ta'ala, welcoming you to this majlis, the gathering whereby the name of Allah Azza wa Jal will be mentioned, the gathering that is loved by the angels. These types of gatherings, if we all know the merits, we would not be, in fact, missing out these gatherings. تليفون؟ خلاص اشتغل؟ لا بدك تبدأ شوف أنت. أخونا القاري مش موجود. So, you want? Of course. طيب خذ المايك and I will tell you exactly the ayah. The ayat which I have recited starting from يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تقولوا راعنا وقولوا انظرنا. Okay. بسم الله. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تقولوا راعنا وقولوا انظرنا واسمعوا وللكافرين عذاب أليم. نعم. آية نمبر. إيش الآية نمبر؟ أنا آية نمبر anyone؟ يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تقولوا راعنا وقولوا انظرنا واسمعوا وللكافرين عذاب أليم. ما يود الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب ولا المشركين. آية نمبر يا حبيبي. I don't know. Somebody? 104. Exactly. Are you sure? 104. يلا 104. يا أيها الذين آمنوا. They used to come the اليهود. They used to come at the time of the Prophet and they used to say يا محمد راعنا. يا محمد راعنا. And راعنا is an insult for them in the Jewish language at the time was an insult. So he used to say we used to insult Muhammad secretly, now we insult him openly. So Allah Azza wa Jalla revealed this ayah. يا أيها الذين آمنوا. بسم الله.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تقولوا راعنا وقولوا انظرنا واسمعوا وللكافرين عذاب أليم. ما يود الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب ولا المشركين أن ينزل عليكم من خير من ربكم والله يختص برحمته من يشاء والله ذو الفضل العظيم. ما ننسخ من آية أو ننسها نأتي بخير منها أو مثلها. ألم تعلم أن الله على كل شيء قدير. ألم تعلم أن الله له ملك السماوات والأرض وما لكم من دون الله من ولي ولا نصير. أم تريدون أن تسألوا رسولكم كما سئل موسى من قبل ومن يتبدل الكفر بالإيمان فقد ضل سواء السبيل. ود كثير من أهل الكتاب لو يردونكم من بعد إيمانكم كفارا حسدا من عند أنفسهم من بعد ما تبين لهم الحق فاعفوا واصفحوا حتى يأتي الله بأمره إن الله على كل شيء قدير. وأقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة وما تقدموا لأنفسكم من خير تجدوه عند الله إن الله بما تعملون خبير إن الله بما تعملون بصير.
جزاك الله خير. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونتوب إليه ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. مرحبا بكم مرة أخرى في هذه المجالس أو هذا المجلس الذي يذكر فيه اسم الله. I welcome you, my brothers and sisters, into this gathering. The gathering of the gathering that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praises in this hadith when the Prophet Muhammad عليه الصلاة والسلام يقول ما من قوم, when people they stick together in a gathering في بيت من بيوت الله يدرسون كتاب الله أو يتدارسون يتلون كتاب الله أو يتدارسونه. This is exactly what we're doing. They sit in a gathering whereby they're learning they're reciting the Quran or they are learning the Quran, and that's exactly what we're doing right now. We're reciting the Quran and learning the Quran. إلا وغشيتهم الرحمة ونزلت عليهم السكينة وحفتهم الملائكة وذكرهم الله في من عنده. This is exactly this gathering. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that the Prophet says that the rahmah will overwhelm them. Rahmah will overwhelm them, and then sakina, tranquility, will descend upon them, and the angels will surround them with their wings. The angels are here, no doubt, because this is what the Prophet ﷺ says. Hadith is sahih. حفتهم الملائكة. If we were to see the unseen right now, لو نرى الغيب لأغمي علينا. For sure. If you were to see the unseen, we will faint. Why? Because the angels are from light. They're from light, so we won't be able to bear the fact that there's so much light, subhanAllah, in this masjid. لأغمي علينا. So the angels are surrounding us, and Allah is mentioning us by name to His angels, subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are 4 things that we get off of these gatherings, and there's one more, which is at the end of the gathering. At the end, يقول مناد من السماء أن قوموا مغفورات لكم قد بدل سيئاتكم حسنات. So you tell me if this is not worth it, really, staying here or listening to this talk, because at the end, an angel will make that announcement, stand up and leave. All your sins have been forgiven, and your bad deeds have been converted into good deeds. بدلت سيئاتكم حسنات. Your bad deeds have been converted to good deeds. This is the majlis. And here what we're studying Al-Baqarah, Surah Al-Baqarah, Al-Barakah. Surah Al-Barakah, the surah of that burns the jinn, that burns the shayateen, the surah that is filled with blessings and barakah, all terms and all kinds of blessings, subhanallah. Surah Al-Baqarah. And we spoke last week about shayateen, and the claim that the Yahud were saying, that they claimed that Sulaiman, was not a prophet. Sulaiman, they cursed Sulaiman. They accused him of teaching people sihr. So we talked about that, and we talked about, the evolving of dark magic, and also the impact and the types of black magic and how one can protect themselves, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, when He says وَمَا هُمْ بِضَارِّينَ بِهِ مِنْ أَحَدٍ إِلَّا بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ, they cannot harm these people who practices this dark magic. They cannot harm anything other than, or anyone other than, with the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَمَا هُمْ بِضَارِّينَ بِهِ مِنْ أَحَدٍ إِلَّا بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ. If that something's going to happen to you, it was decreed to happen to you regardless. If something was not meant to happen to you, it shall never happen to you. As the Prophet Muhammad when he told, in this hadith, if the entire world from ins and jinn and shayateen and whatnot, they come together to benefit you, and Allah does not want to benefit you, won't be benefited. And if they come together, the whole world, the entire world, they come to harm you, and Allah does not want to harm you, you shall not be harmed. So at the end, what's going to happen is only that which Allah Azza wa Jal has decreed to happen to you. Put your trust in Allah. This is what we call tawakkul on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? So then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu, all you who believe. So brothers and sisters, if you're listening, and I hope you are. Ya ayyuha, and those who are online with us. Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu, when there is a call, oh you who believe. Ibn Mas'ud used to say whenever you hear this announcement here, Ya ayyuhalladina amanu, it's a call from Allah calling whom? Calling the believers. Ya ayyuhalladina amanu. Ari'ha sam'ak, give it your ear and your heart, because there is a message coming here, and the message will be of two forms. Either do or abstain from doing. When you hear Ya ayyuhalladina amanu, it's either an order to be followed or something to abstain from. Something prohibited to abstain from. So when you hear Ya ayyuhalladina amanu, the message is not to the Sahaba no more. The Sahaba are no more. The Sahaba are gone. So now the message is you and I, for you and I. Ya ayyuhalladina amanu, la taqulu ra'ina wa qulu unzurna wasma'u. Wasma'u. وَلِلْكَافِرِينَ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. Ya, all you who believe, لا تقول راعنا, don't say راعنا. So this ayah was revealed at the time when the Jews, they used to come and they used to tell the Prophet Muhammad, Ya Muhammad راعنا, Ya Muhammad راعنا. And this was actually an insult for them. You see, when the Quran was being revealed, right? So the Quran is being revealed, and there are people, the Sahaba who are writing the Quran. Listen. So they are writing the Quran. So as they are writing the Quran, sometimes the Prophet Muhammad is, talking, like fast, and then the one who's writing, he may need the Prophet to shway shway, tola tola, shway shway, ra'ina ra'ina. Ra'i means, easy, going. Don't, so Allah Azza wa Jalla says, oh, you who believe, don't say ra'ina, walakin qul unzurna. Why ra'ina? Because ra'ina is a term used to be said by the Jews at the time that used to mean something bad. It's a curse. So don't be like them. Just like the Prophet Muhammad sitting with Aisha radiallahu anha, and some people from the Jews, they came and they sent salam. But they did not say salam. They said assalamu alaikum. They said assalamu alaikum. The Prophet heard them. And Aisha, she heard them. So Aisha, she replied, wa alaykum as-salam wal la'na wa ghadab Allah. Wa alaykum as-salam wal la'na wal ghadab. The Prophet told Aisha, Ya Aisha, did you hear what I said? I said, wa alaykum. I said, wa alaykum. I didn't have to curse. And I said, wa alaykum. What is as-salam? It's not was-salam. Was-salam. As-salam means death upon you. As-salam versus as-salam. As-salam means peace. But these people, when they passed by Rasulullah, they said, Assalamu alaikum. The Prophet says, wa alaikum. One sister called me on the phone, live on TV one time. On TV, like a Islam channel in the UK. So she said, hi, Sheikh. I said, wa alaikum hi. Wa alaikum. Hi. Wa alaikum hi. So how do they say, Assalamu alaikum? Although, she did not mean bad. She says hi, I said hi, but it's better to say Assalamu alaikum. So these people, they said Assalamu alaik. So the Prophet understood. And Aisha, she understood too. Radiallahu anha wa ardaha. Wa alaykum as-salam wal la'na wa ghadab Allah. May Allah alaykum as-salam, and the la'na and the curse and the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أو ما سمعتي ما قلت يا عائشة قلت وعليكم. So what does that mean here? It means these people, they have certain things that we have to be careful when they say. Particularly ra'ina. At the time, they had this term which meant an insult. Ya Muslimin, when you're writing the Quran from the last one, there may be something like you cannot, it's too fast for you. Tell Rasulullah, انظرنا ya Rasulullah, انظرنا. شوي. انظر, يعني, انظر or انتظر means wait. I'm still writing, انتظر. Don't say ra'ina. Okay, here's a beautiful question. That was at the time. Arabs who are here, those of you who are Arabs. Is it okay to say ra'ina today? أنت businessman, but تبيع العسل. This brother is from Yemen, he sells عسل. He doesn't, but I'm just saying. So I said, yeah, he wants to sell the عسل for $500 for شوي, just a kilo. 1 kilo, $500. I say, يا حبيبي راعنا. بالعرب we say this, راعيني. يعني take care of me. Don't charge me too much. راعيني. Today is okay to say it. But at the time it meant something bad to Rasulullah. So the Prophet ﷺ, Allah told them, don't say ra'ina, بس قولوا انظرنا وللكافرين. Oh, what's going on here? وللكافرين عذاب. يا ربي, رa'ina انظرنا, and then you say وللكافرين عذاب أليم. Yes, why? Those الذين لا يمتثلون كلام الله لهم عذاب أليم. وَلِلْكَافِرِينَ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. Right after that, Allah says, and for the non-believers, they shall have a very severe chastisement. What does that mean? Yes, those who do not follow the commands of Allah, they will have adab alim. If the Prophet says, or if Allah says, don't say this, and you keep saying it, you have adab alim. If Allah says, don't do this, and you keep on doing it, you may have adab alim. You understand? It's not just there at that time, it's also applicable today. Don't say it. Don't do it. وَلِلْكَافِرِينَ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. Somebody says, Assalamu alaikum. What should you say? وعليكم السلام. وإذا حييتم بتحية فحيوا بأحسن منها أو ردوها. The very least is to say وعليكم السلام. This is the very least when somebody says السلام عليكم. But the best is to وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Because Allah says in the Quran, when you are greeted with tahiyya, فحيوا بأحسن منها. Greet with a better greeting. Somebody says السلام عليكم. You say وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله. Not وعليكم. When somebody says السلام عليكم, don't say وعليكم. Some people today, some Arabs in some culture, they say salam. Morocco, salam. Salam. What's wrong with salamu alaikum? Because now you've been watched. Those who say salamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, oh, hadu extremists. Salam is cool. Salam is high. Salam is nice. Salamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, hada multazim. هذا مسلم ملتزم. Be careful. So in the bus, sometimes back home, they watch. When they say Assalamu alaikum, they want to see what your reply would be, and based on your reply, they will label you. They will label you. Multazim, Muslim, Sunni, not Sunni, cool Muslim, non-cool, just based on your salam. When you say wa alaikum or wa assalamu alaikum, say hi. Oh, that is all right. Don't be afraid of him. He's all right. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. سجلوا. هذا محارب هذا maybe I don't know طالباني. Yeah, be careful. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. So this is just on the way. So the ma'na here is, the meaning here, be careful of these people and their terms and what they use. Sometimes they use tricky words, so be careful, in the words. وَلِلْكَافِرِينَ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. Al-kufr here, there are two types of kufr. Kufr, al-kafirin عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. Al-kafirin here, because there are two types of kufr. There is kufr, which is the major kufr, وَالْعِيَذُ بِاللَّهِ, the one that takes you out of the fold of Islam. And there is the minor kufr. The minor kufr, like the Prophet when he says, لَا تَرْجِعُوا بَعْدِ كُفَّارًا يَضْرِبُ بَعْضُكُمْ أَعْنَاقَ بَعْضٍ. Oh, ya Sahaba, don't come back to me, kuffar. You're killing one another. Like the kuffar. That does not mean that you are kafir, but don't be like those kafir, killing one another, hitting one another, striking the head of one another. So this, here when Allah says, subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَلِلْكَافِرِينَ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ, talking about this type of kufr. Here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, مَا يَوَدُّ. Oh, be careful here with me, لو سمحتم, please. ما يود الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب ولا المشركين أن ينزل عليكم من خير من ربكم. We live with them. We live with them. We live here. So we have to understand few things. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, the disbelievers from the people of the book and the polytheists would not want you to receive any blessing from your Lord. But Allah selects whoever He wills for His mercy. طيب. ما يود بالعربي comes from wood, which comes from the name of Allah, Al-Wadud, the most affectionate. ما يود. بالعربي بيقول sometimes والله وددت لو جيت عندك، وددت لو أنني أحضنك. وددت from would. I would love to come and visit you. I would love to come and hug you. وددت from would. Here Allah says ما يود الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب ولا المشركين. They would not want, the disbelievers, they would not want what? ما يود الذين كفروا here means the disbelievers. I'm not going to explicitly mention them. When I say disbelievers. You understand? They will not be pleased with you and I until you become kafir. This is what the ayah says. Okay? Who says? That's what Allah says in the Quran. ما يود الذين كفروا من الكتاب والمشركين أن ينزل عليكم من خير من ربكم. They would not want you to have any khair. They would not want you to be successful. You may say all. We will talk about the next ayah that says not all, but eventually, these people, they would not want you to be khair, to have any khair. They would not. Why? Because they have hasad. What kind of hasad? Envy. Envy from what? They initially wanted this religion to be theirs. They initially wanted this prophet to be theirs. But the prophet came from the Arabs. Now they don't want you to have no khair. The hasad. They don't want you to be successful. They don't want you to be not only just successful, they don't want to see you be amongst the, mashallah, the fortunate ones and those who are leaders and whatnot. لا يود الذين كفروا. They don't want to see any khair. They want you to be always, from those who fail. والعياذ بالله. They're angry. زعلانين يعني. لأن الرسالة ما أنزلت عليهم، بس ما أنزلت على رسولهم، أو كانوا يتمنون أن الرسول يأتي من عندهم، ولكن جاء الرسول العربي القرشي من ولد عدنان. They were waiting for this prophet to come from their progeny, yet this prophet came from, the progeny of Ismail عليه السلام, so they took it to their hearts. ما يود الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب. والله يختص برحمة من يشاء. Wallahu ala kulli shayin qadir. And here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and Allah selects whoever He wills for His mercy. What Allah means here by His mercy? Wallahu yakhtassu bi rahmati ma yasha. And Allah selects for His mercy whoever He wills. The mercy here means al-Islam. Allah selects Islam for whoever He wishes subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah has selected these people. Just Allah selected Al-Haramain. That's where Mecca is. Whether you like it or not, that's where Mecca is. That's what the Haram is. That's what the Kaaba is. And Allah selected Palestine for the Qubba to be there. And Allah selected Medina for the Al-Masjid Nabi to be there. Allah selects whatever He wishes subhanahu wa ta'ala. ذَلِكَ فَضْلُ اللَّهِ يَأْتِيهِ مَن يَشَاءُ. Even Musa wanted to be part of this ummah, wasn't it? Remember? Even Musa wanted to be the prophet of this ummah. And Musa wanted to be the prophet of this ummah. And Musa wanted to be part of this ummah. And the Prophet and Allah kept saying, هذه أمة محمد, هذه أمة محمد. This is the ummah of Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. ذلك فضل الله. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Are you following me so far? Huh? And then Allah goes to something that they have done. What they have done? They made changes. I don't like this from the Torah. We're going to change it. We don't like this from the Bible. We're going to change it. So they claim, well, you Muslims also change. Muhammad changed his Quran. What? How? Yeah, Muhammad changes the Quran. There is an ayah, and then he doesn't like it, so he changes it. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, مَا نَنسَخْ مِنْ آيَةٍ أَوْ نُنْسِهَا نَأْتِ بِخَيْرٍ مِنْهَا أَوْ مِثْلِهَا أَلَمْ تَعْلَمْ أَنَّ اللَّهَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. Here comes this concept of نسخ. النسخ أو نسخ. نسخ كتابا بالعربي. نسخ كتاب. When you have a book and you say, I want to make a copy of that book, we say نسخ. انسخ للكتاب. Copy of it. نسخ also means to substitute something, to alter something linguistically. نسخ is to alter something or to change something. This is linguistically. Here it means to abrogate. What is abrogation? Abrogation is when you take an ayah and you change that ayah. And there are three types of nusakh which we're going to talk about. So just to understand. But the question first is why Allah is making nusakh in the Quran. Because these non-believers, they claim that Muhammad ﷺ changes the Quran. But Allah does not change the Quran. Number one, no. Hold on, I made a mistake. They claim that Muhammad changes the Quran. So Allah comes and He says, مَا نَنْسَخْ مِنْ آيَةٍ. It is Allah who makes these changes, not Muhammad. Number one. مَا نَنْسَخْ مِنْ آيَةٍ أَوْ نُنْسِهَا. Whatever we abrogate an ayah, أَوْ نُنْسِهَا. You know what nunsiha? Nunsiha, when you translate it, means to forget it, or we make them forget it. Whereas, إِنَّمَا النَّسِيءُ زِيَادَةٌ فِي الْكُفْرِ. This is the best. When you explain the Quran with the Quran. إِنَّمَا النَّسِيءُ زِيَادَةٌ فِي الْكُفْرِ. النَّسِي in Surah At-Tawbah, nasi comes from nisyan. Nunsiha means to delay it. As the Arabs at the time, Quraysh, they used to delay a month versus a month. The Ashhur al-Hurum, the sacred month, they used to delay those months. Let's say, what's Shahr al-Haram? There are 4. Do you know them? 4 sacred months. What are they? Rajab, Dhul Qa'dah, Dhul Hijjah, and Muharram. These are the 3 months. So in these months, you cannot. There's no war. There is no killing. There's no. So these people, they used to delay a month versus a month. Oh, this month we're traveling, and if we're traveling for this, in our caravan for trade, and by the time we reach this other, town, it will be Safar. And Safar, it's okay to for these bandits to cross, to attack. So we're going to delay. We're going to delay Safar, and then we just say, oh no, Dhul Qa'dah, it's still Dhul Hijjah. So they used to play with these months so that they can do their trade peacefully. And it's called An-Nasi. An-Nasi is to delay. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, مَا نَنْسَخْ مِنْ آيَةٍ أَوْ نُنْسِهَا. If we were to abrogate an ayah or nunsiha, or we delay it, or we remove it, ما ننسخ من آية نأتي بخير منها أو مثلها. We bring a better ayah or something similar to it. Why? Here comes the beautiful explanation of why. Aisha radiallahu anha says, with regard to khamr, you know what khamr is, right? Khamr means alcohol. Khamr, alcohol, wine, يعني is something intoxicant. She says, لو نزلت يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتركوا الخمر. If it was revealed like this, all you who believe, refrain from khamr, from alcohol, the Muslims wouldn't have left it. They would not have, abstained from it. Why? It came in stages. This is the abrogation. This is the naskh. Because Allah knows that this Sahaba, that these people, that these human beings, they are weak, so they need to be prepared somehow. And I will give you, I don't know if the sisters are here, because there's another ayah. There's about 6 ayah that were revealed, that were abrogated. And Imam al-Suyuti said there were 20 ayah that were abrogated. And there was another narration that says there were over 103 ayah that were abrogated. But amongst the ulama, the scholars, the consensus is 6 ayat that were abrogated. Right? So here comes this explanation. The khamr came in, or the prohibition of alcohol, because some people now they're praying smart. They say, Sheikh, there is no ayah in the Quran that says khamr is haram. True. There is no ayah in the Quran that says, إِنَّمَا الْخَمْرُ حَرَامٌ. Al-khamr is haram. There's no ayah. But it came in stages. The first stage is when Allah Azza wa Jalla talks about الخمر المنافع and المساوئ, the benefits and the harm. And Allah talks about the benefits or the harm outweighs the benefits. So first talks about the benefits and the harms of khamr. Because the Sahaba, they used to drink so much. They were very heavy drinkers. Very heavy drinkers. When the Prophet Muhammad sent the Sahaba, to call Islam, like Mu'ad, call them first to La ilaha illallah. After they believe, then tell them about as-salah. Don't mention the other pillars. First talk about salah. If they accept the salah, once they accept the salah, then tell them about az-zakah. If you first and tell them pay zakah, they will have never paid it. They will never pay it because they're not ready. They need to be ready. So preparing them mentally, not just physically, mentally, spiritually. First tell them about La ilaha illallah. They accept La ilaha illallah, tell them about as-salah. Before zakah, as-salah. Now that they're praying, as they pray, they're empowering themselves. Now you tell them about zakah. After zakah, now they're ready to leave food for some time. Tell them about siyam. Now they left siyam. They left any food and drinks and abstain from their spouses. Now comes in the most difficult thing. You're gonna leave everything, including your clothes and your everything, and you're gonna leave your homes. Where are you gonna go? You're gonna go to Mecca. Why? To perform Hajj. You have to tell them one by one. Now they're ready. Then came in the second ayah, which abrogated the first ayah. The second ayah that says, okay, because they were ready, but they're not ready fully. Because they used to drink. Even Umar ibn Khattab, he used to drink so much until he used to get so drunk. So what happened was, they used to drink, but then came in, don't drink when you're praying. Oh, we're going to pray Dhuhr. After Dhuhr comes what? Maghrib. Oh, Asr. Oh, okay. In Asr, is it Asr? Dhuhr, after Dhuhr comes Asr. So if I drink, I'm not going to be sober, right? I'm going to be a little bit kida, what do we call sakran? Drunk. So if I drink between Dhuhr and Asr, I may be drunk, so maybe the Quran, I will not recite the Quran properly. I'm not going to drink. I'm going to refrain from drinking until Maghrib. No, but because Dhuhr, Asr and Maghrib is very short, so you know what? I'll wait until Isha. But between Maghrib and Isha is only an hour, so I'm not going to drink until after Isha. Between Isha and Fajr, it's about 6-7 hours. Tayyah. And they used to drink after don't come and say, Sheikh, nice. I'm just waiting for the Isha. Inshallah, I'm going to go home and I'm waiting for the Isha. And then you just said it. Yes, but that was at the time, the Sahaba. They would drink, but they would drink after the Isha. And they would stop before the Fajr to get ready for Fajr. So they did that for some time. And then when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decreed that the Sahaba are ready, came in the ayah. Ya ayyuhan ladina, innama al-khamru wal-ansab wal-azlamu wal-maysir wal-ansab wal-azlam rijsun min amal. This is even worse than saying khamr is haram. Al-khamr and the gambling and worshipping idols. Rijsun min amal al-shaytan. فاجتنبوه leave it, it's from shaitan, leave it. As you have left gambling and you have left, sisters, what's going on? Aywa. As you have left gambling and you have left worshipping idols, now leave al-khamr, avoid drinking khamr, abstain from drinking khamr. Now they're ready. They are ready to leave drinking khamr. And this ayah nasakhat the ayah that was before it. This ayah abrogated the ayah that were before it. Which ayah? The ayah that says, لا تقربوا الصلاة وأنتم سكارى. Don't come even close to the prayer when you are sukara, when you're drunk. So the first ayah abrogated the third ayah, abrogated the second ayah, and the second ayah abrogated the first ayah as well. You see how the nuskh? So the nuskh came to facilitate, to ease up the things for people, subhanallah, to make it easy for the people. I'll give you an example. Here's for the women, for the sisters.
Um, النسخ. I'll tell you the 3 types of nasakh, 3 types of abrogation, and then tell you the ayah about women that was abrogated. Sisters, when a man dies, a widower, he leaves a widow, right? She has to embrace that period, right? That period called al-iddah. The iddah of a woman who loses her husband is, do you know, brothers? 40 years. 40 years, يعني 40 years مسكينة هذه. 4 months and 10 days. But before that used to be 1 year. Came the second ayah to abrogate the first ayah. So which is easier for women? For the woman, she would say, يعني I cannot leave my home for 1 year after my husband dies. Please, my husband, don't die. I'll die before you because I can't stay home for 1 year. Exactly, I'll die before you die. So which is easier? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala abrogated the ayah, and then Allah Azza wa Jalla revealed it in another ayah, the ayah of 4 months and 10 days. So there are 3 types of نسخ. The first type of نسخ is, are you with me ولا وش not with me? انتوا معي ولا مو معي؟ ها؟ كيف حبايبنا اونلاين؟ ها؟ ها؟ لا ان شاء الله حيظل معنا 4 months and 10 days. أول نوع من النسخ في اللفظ والمعنى. في اللفظ والمعنى حنفسر. ثاني نوع من النسخ في المعنى مع بقاء اللفظ أو الحكم أو التلاوة يعني. ثالث نوع من النسخ في اللفظ مع بقاء المعنى. 3 types. The first type of نسخ of abrogation is the abrogation in wording and meaning. Both. One ayah was abrogated in its entirety. Both the meaning of it and the wording of it was removed from the Quran. That's the first type. I will give you an example. Aisha radiallahu anha says, كان ما يقرأ من آيات القرآن 10 رضعات يحرمن فنسخن ب5 آيات رضعات يحرمن. Aisha, she said there was an ayah which prohibits, okay, here's an example. When you have a baby, right? And this is also for the women. When you have a baby, it's how can I explain this? When okay, enter you don't have no, not you. You cannot have babies. Your wife has a baby. And then you want to breastfeed the baby, not you, the wife. So you want to adopt another baby. And then your wife has milk and she can breastfeed. For that baby that she breastfeeds, that she nurses, for that baby to become her son or her daughter, there was an ayah in the Quran that says it requires 10 rad'ah, 10 times to be breastfed for the son or the daughter to become your actual son or daughter. And that ayah from the Quran got abrogated, changed totally into 5 ayat. So now, if let's say your wife breastfeed somebody else's son or daughter more than 5 times at least, then that particular baby becomes your son as well. But it has to be 5 times. And the ulama, they said that 5 times the baby has to fully eat. You cannot, he's sucking, right? And then you remove him. He has to stop himself or herself. Then and only then, for 5 times, She breastfed him today, and then maybe the next day, or whatever, 5 times. But there was an ayah in the Quran that said 10 times, and that ayah got abrogated into 5, and the same ayah got abrogated. It was removed. But the hukm remained. The ruling is still there, but the ayah was totally removed from the Quran. That's one naskh. The second type of naskh, of abrogation, is the naskh في المعنى مع بقاء اللفظ. And that's the abrogation in the ma'na. The ma'na means al-hukm. The ma'na means the ruling. But the nuskh of the ruling, the abrogation of the ruling, but what remained is the tilawa. The ayah still remains. The ayah remains in the Quran, but it is not, we don't take from it. We don't use that ayah. It remains. Why it has remained? It remains because you get ajr for reciting it, because it's an ayah from the Quran. So when you recite it, you get the ajr. But the hukm of the ayah, the ruling of the ayah, is abrogated, is no longer valid. Such as the ayah which I have mentioned. The ayah about women, when their husband passes away. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَالَّذِينَ in Surah Al-Baqarah as well, وَالَّذِينَ يَتَوَفَّوْنَ مِنكُمْ وَيَذَرُونَ أَزْوَاجًا وَصِيَّةً لِأَزْوَاجِهِمْ مَتَاعًا إِلَى الْحَوْلِ غَيْرَ إِخْرَاجٍ. مَتَاعًا إِلَى الْحَوْلِ غَيْرَ إِخْرَاجٍ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, when those who die from the man, the iddah of their women is 1 year. Al-hawl غَيْرَ إِخْرَاجٍ. They have to stay home for 1 year. But this ayah was abrogated with وَالَّذِينَ يَتَوَفَّوْنَ مِنْكُمْ وَيَذَرُونَ أَزْوَاجًا يَتَرَبَّصْنَ بِأَنفُسِهِنَّ أَرْبَعَةَ أَشْهُرٍ وَعَشْرًا. Same in the Quran, in Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and those who die and leave widows behind them, let them observe a waiting period of 4 months and 10 days. Right? So here, what happened? The first ayah still there. Just like the ayah of the Quran of Khamr, it's still there. Someone might say, Shaykh, the ayah in the Quran is still there that says, don't drink while you're about to pray. It's still there. Why Allah didn't remove it? Allah did not remove it so that you can still recite it in the Quran and get ajr of reciting that ayah when you recite it as well. But it is no longer valid. What's not? The hukm of it, the ruling of it is no longer valid because it's got abrogated with another ayah from the Quran. So is this ayah, as I mentioned, the ayah of man dying and leaving behind them widows. And then the third one, النسخ مع اللفظ مع بقاء معنى الحكم. النسخ اللفظ مع بقاء الحكم. The نسخ of the wording, but the meaning remains. The hukm remains. This is the third type. The meaning is being abrogated, but لفظ يعني the tilawa, يعني the wording has been abrogated, but the hukm has remained. Such as, I'll give you an ayah. Umar ibn Khattab used to say, there was this ayah that was removed, was abrogated. The wording of it got abrogated, but the hukm remains. الشيخ والشيخة إذا زانيا فاجلدوا كل واحدة منهما البث نكالا من الله جزاء بما كسب والله عزيز حكيم. هذه آية كانت في القرآن. والشيخ والشيخة. This ayah is no longer there, but this ayah used to be there in the Quran. والشيخ والشيخة, and the chacha and the chachi, and the uncle and the auntie, and the old man and the old woman. إذا زانيا, when they commit zina, فاجلدوهن, and then whip them. نكالا. So the ayah was being abrogated. But the hukm, the hukm remains. The hukm of al-jald. Those who be, like in Surah An-Nur, Allah Azza wa Jalla talks about the hukm of those who commit zina. They are to be, فَجْلُ كُلَّ وَاحِدٍ مِّنْهُمَا 80 جَلْدَةً, 80 whips, right, in this other ayah. So the hukm remains. So these are the three types of abrogation. And again, the meaning of it or the purpose of it is to facilitate or to make it easy on you and I, on the people. If Allah subhanAllah, if these ayat were to be remained, Allah knows that we won't be able, just like the ayah of the hijab. It was not revealed until the Sahabiyat went to Medina. After some times, after a few years, and then the Sahabiyah, when the ayah of hijab was revealed, the Sahabiyat were so ready to implement. So much so that one woman, she did not want to go home. She had to send her, she was in the streets when the ayah was revealed. She couldn't move. She had to send someone to bring her something to cover herself with. So they were ready to implement. So came this ruling of an-nasakh. But what does that have to do with them? أما أنتم غيرتم عرفتم وغيرتم. You knew and you made changes. You did not like this ayah and you changed it and you lied and you abrogated and you changed this with that. But now when we did, Allah Azza wa Jalla, when He made the abrogation, He did it for a purpose. And we brought another ayah or something better or something similar. ما نسخ من آية أو ننسها نأتي بخير منها أو مثلها. We bring something similar or something better than it. So the difference between them and us and Islam, right? And the Quran. ننسها. الله أكبر. ألم تعلم أن الله له ألم تعلم أن الله على كل شيء قدير. Don't you know Allah ala kulli shay qadir? Yes, Allah is all able. Allah is able to change something from something, subhanahu wa ta'ala. Kulli shay qadir. Allah is qadir. Allah is able. Allah changes one ayah, from abrogates an ayah and brings another ayah. Allah keeps this ayah and then removes this other ayah. Allah keeps this ayah but removes the meaning of that ayah. Allah is all able, subhanahu wa ta'ala. ألم تعلم أن الله على كل شيء قدير. ألم تعلم أن الله له ملك السماوات والأرض وما لكم من دون الله من ولي ولا نصير. ألم تعلم أن الله ألم تعلم. Don't you know that Allah له ملك. Allahu Akbar. Allah له الملك. He has the dominion of the heavens and the earth. This is the Allah that you are not believing in. This is the Allah that you don't want to, believe in. له ملك السماوات والأرض. Allah is Al-Malik, Al-Malik, Al-Malik. These are three names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The supreme dominion, the supreme inheritor subhanahu wa ta'ala, the monarch subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Al-Malik. Allah lahu mulku samawati wal ard. He is not the only Malik in this earth, because there are some people who are only Malik on earth, but they cannot be Malik in the heavens. The queen and kings. And there are certain Malik, but they cannot be Malik. Oh, really? Yes. They are Malik, they are kings, but they cannot be Malik. They cannot own. They can only own certain things. This land is not yours, although you're the king, but this land is not yours. And you are Malik, but you are not Malik. Look. Please be careful with me here, because this is deep. You are Malik, but you are not Malik. Or you are Malik, and you're not Malik. You are Malik, king, but you are not Malik. You cannot own everything. You're the king of this country, but you only own not even this what is called her palace of in London. Buckingham disease. Buckingham. نعم. She lives there. Does she own it? She owns her farm. She owns her dog. She owns, but she owned. Well, she owned. Is no longer owned. The king who came in is Malik, but he's not Malik. And the other one, you are Malik, but you're not Malik. You own your car, you own your home. No, you don't own your home. Your wife does. You own nothing. And me and you don't own nothing, man. مساكين احنا والله. We don't own. They own, but so Malik, but we are not Malik. We are not kings, but Allah is Al-Malik, Al-Malik. Allah is both. Al-Malik. ما في السماوات والأرض ما لكم من دون الله من ولي ولا نصير أم تريدون أن تسألوا. And here comes Allah Azza wa Jalla again, another ayah. أم تريدون. Oh, now he's talking to the Muslims at the time of Allah. أم تريدون أن تسألوا رسولكم كما سئل موسى من قبل. Hold on a second. Allah is saying, do you, Muslimin, do you want, do you believers, indeed, do you want to ask your messenger, just like what people of Musa asked Musa for? You know what they asked Musa for? They asked Musa for so many things, but what's the worst thing they asked for? اجعل لنا إلها كما له آلهة. Oh Musa, craft a calf for us, an idol, so that we can worship an idol just like they worship an idols. Craft an idol for us. They asked Musa. So Allah said to the Sahaba, to the Muslims, Do you want to ask your Prophet Muhammad as what they asked Musa for? أم تريدون أن تسألوا رسولكم كما سئل موسى من قبل وما يتبدل الكفر بالإيمان فقط وما يتبدل الكفر بالإيمان. And those who change from kufr to iman and iman to kufr, they have mu'min and they change from iman to kufr, فقد ضل سواء السبيل. They have indeed gone astray. So don't go astray. If you're mu'min, stick to iman, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying. أم تريدون أن تسألوا رسولكم كما سئل موسى من قبل ومن يتبع الكفر بالإيمان فقد ضل سواء السبيل. And I will end with this ayah. ود كثير من أهل الكتاب لو يردونكم من بعد إيمانكم كفارا حسدا من عند أنفسهم من بعد ما تبين لهم الحق. The other ayah says ما يود الذين كفروا. The other ayah ما يود. They don't want you to have any khair. What do they want instead? ود كثير من أهل الكتاب. This is the other ayah. They don't want, but this ayah says this is what they want. Who? They're talking about the non-believers, والنصارى واليهود. What do they want? ما يود الذين ود كثير. And here Allah says specifically كثير, not all, but the majority of them. كثير. What do they want? لو يردونكم من بعد إيمانكم كفارا. Oh, Allahu Akbar. That's the ultimate want from them. They want us to go back to kufr. That's what they want. How? What do they do? Even today, what are they doing? Next week, inshallah ta'ala, we'll carry on. Some questions and answers, inshallah ta'ala, we'll wrap it up, bi'idhnillah. What do they want and what they don't want? We know for sure now what they don't want. They don't want us to be successful. They say khair, you're doing something good, you're great, you're driving a nice car. Even you may say, ya Sheikh, even some Muslims, they have that. They don't want to see me successful. Yes. But we're talking about, not those who have sick hearts. The other ones who have no heart at all. Those who don't have no belief at all. They don't want you, to be successful. Now comes in, what do they want instead? ود كثير من أهل الكتاب لو يردونكم من بعد إيمانكم كفارا حسدا من عند أنفسهم. They want you just to live your religion, basically. And the day when you do as they do, when you say as they say, when you dance as they dance, and you celebrate as they celebrate, you'll be their pal and you'll be good and they'll be happy with you. The day when you say, no, I'm sorry, I cannot do this. The day when you say, I'm sorry, I cannot shake your hand. I'm sorry, I cannot sit in a table that has khamr. I'm sorry, I cannot participate in this gathering. I'm sorry, I cannot celebrate this day. I'm sorry, I cannot agree with what you're doing, killing innocent people. I'm sorry. They hate you. You're not their friends. The day when you tell them, I'm sorry, man, I cannot go out with you drinking. You're at work. Riyadh, we finished this project, it's Friday night. They're always told, we're all going, to this bar, and why don't come with us? You kidding me? I'm sorry, man, I cannot go with you. Why? Sorry, we're just going to drink. No, I'll have a drink. Yeah, you go. I'm not going. Why? I don't drink. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. But you still can come with us, right? Have some pulp or something. يا أخي, I don't say يا أخي. ولا يا حبيبي. I'm not going to go. Thank you so much. I'm not going to go. And from there on, they label you. Are you going to be their best friend? No, you're not their best friend. Al-Khamr. Why Al-Khamr? Why Al-Khamr has been prohibited? Why the stages? Why when they tell you, do this and then you say, no, I'm not going to sit at the table. Why particularly I just spoke about, because I forgot to mention about Al-Khamr. Al-Khamr is called Al-Khaba'ith. Al-Khamr is the mother of all evil. You don't know that. The mother of all evil is Khamr. Because when you become, astaghfirullah, intoxicated, drunk, when it's been told to this man, here's your sister, your mother, drink khamr. Either you you kill your mother